Hello there, everyone. Patricia Hayes here with Coffee Time Career Chat. So glad to be here with you all here on this last week of June for 2022. So amazing how the time has flown. We are doing a quick chat here because I recognize that we are in the heart of summertime and that people think that they don't have time in order to engage in some professional development and personal growth, which is exactly what we're going to talk about today. But before we do that, for those of you who are joining me for the very first time, once again, my name is Patricia Hayes. I am an executive advisor, career empowerment coach, and authentic networking strategist. I'm a lawyer by training, and all of that means is that you get all of that goodness piled into one to help you when you are looking to transition in your work and your business, when you're looking to up level in your goals and get to and need that support, right? To get to that next level and to make sure that you're utilizing all of your resources effectively, especially your people resources. That's my area of specialization, where I make sure that you are leveraging your professional network and relationships in a way that's sustainable over time and aligned with your values. So that said, today we're talking about not wasting some of your most valuable assets. And here are the two: your health and your time. And we're really going to focus on time, but I had to throw in that health part because I know that for me, that was one of the things I had not considered until my health came into question, especially as a small business owner, someone who's been working for herself. Even when I was lobbying, all of that, it's like, if I'm sick, the work doesn't happen. If, it's not good. So you have to make sure that you take care of yourself from a health perspective, not just physical, but emotional, spiritual, mental, all the things. Because if the last couple of years haven't taught us anything, it is truly the one of the most valuable assets that any of us have, regardless of what it is we do, where we live, any of that stuff, right? Our health, full and comprehensive, is one of our most valuable assets. So I highly encourage you to take that into consideration and consider that a part of personal and professional growth, as you're looking for things to engage in this summer, to strengthen you, to help you to move forward so that you can have a successful end of the year in a way that you want it to be. The second piece, though, that we're going to spend a little bit more time on, is time. Because here's the thing: you cannot get back time. That is what makes it one of the most valuable assets that you have, is because you can't get it back. Once it's lost, it's gone. People like to say that, oh, your money is a valuable asset and all of that. Here's the thing: you can lose a lot of money and get it back. Okay, so that's not it. You can lose friends and get new ones. You can lose a lot of things and get it back. You might even lose some of your health things. It's not one that I recommend, but you can work back to it. But one of the things, to some degree, right? To some extent, I'm sure someone will totally disagree with me. But one of the things you cannot get back is time. And it is an asset that is under recognized and undervalued for what it really is. And it's not till it's gone that so many of us are really like, oh crap. What if I had, right? The what ifs, the regrets. We don't want to have those. We don't want to live with those. We want to live with active choices so that we can say, yeah, I actively chose to take this next path. And could have gone something different if I did something different? Sure. But guess what? That's different than living with the regret of not having utilized the time effectively to begin with. All right. So Especially during this summertime. I've been talking about this and really trying to drive this point home where people are like, oh, I need to relax. It's just been so stressful and I need to get away. All agree. A lot of that's tied into your emotional and your mental health. Totally agree to put value there. Okay. We do need that. That is something that I have been lacking in my own world and needing to step into and be stronger and better about. Okay, little vulnerability point, but that's an ongoing issue for me, not just because of international pandemic from the last couple of years or whatever, a pending recession, all of these things, right? So we know who we are and we know how we react and respond to things. So, be honest with yourself. Acknowledge where you slip, where you need more support, and go seek it out. And one of those things is when it comes to time, is what are you using your time to do? And in the summer, where there is a difference between actively making choices to take time to, improve your health, to get some rest, all of that, which again, fantastic things, versus, oh, I don't have time to do anything. And that is not true. We are all given the same amount of time, but what are you doing with it? And the summer, as I mentioned a couple of days ago, is the perfect time to pick up on some things that you may not have legitimately had the hours in the day, the minutes in a day to accomplish before. Because the expectations on getting certain things done are lesser from a professional standpoint, from work standpoint, or whatever, because people are coming and going. So why not take advantage of that and go slip in some additional support for yourself? Whether it's, going on a retreat, whether it's, enjoying a workshop, attending a conference, whether it's reconnecting with old friends and colleagues. Because if you utilize your time in that fashion, it will pay off. The return on investment is high for those activities, as opposed to sitting back and saying what you don't have time for, make the time for it. I literally was just commenting on someone, where they were concerned about not being able to network or not having enough time to engage in networking in a certain way. I think we were talking about coffee chats and things like that. And here's my thing. When I tell people, I'm like, don't overthink it. Whatever it is you need to do, don't overthink it. Think about, if you've got like 15 things that come up when you're thinking about what I need to do in order to make something happen. Okay, write them all down, get them out of your system, and then choose one and do that one thing. Do that one thing for a week if you have to. Do that one thing, pick up another thing, right? We're talking about building habits, building consistency, so that you can again recognize something that you may have totally been overthinking. You have 5 minutes to make it happen. And when you recognize that, then you no longer can use the excuse of not having enough time. It's much more about what's your willpower, what's your mindset, and whether you have the mindset to help you get to where you need to be to make it happen. That is different. Okay. So don't waste it don't waste your asset of time by saying you don't have enough of it, when in reality, what it is you're not utilizing it to the best of your ability. Hey, look, this is not judgmental. Like, perfectionist Patty here got all kinds of issues with that, right? Because my thing is, I'm trying to either do something just right, which can add up to wasting time, which is really about something else, procrastinating. Maybe there's something else I'm really trying to avoid. Or it can be, really just kind of being overwhelmed by something and that becoming a time waster. And either way, both of them come back to break it down to the simplest form and take one step. Do one thing. This is why when I created the my 30-day networking consistency challenge, it literally, or my consistency challenge period. Like, for those of you who don't know, when I first created that consistency challenge, it was all about me trying to be more consistent in my business, and specifically about being visible on camera. So here's the funny thing. For someone who's been engaged in public speaking since she was 14 years old, here I am 30, 40 years later, needing to do more of that, but in a different way. And I was making all kinds of excuses for not showing up on camera, right? It wasn't really about the ability to speak, but there was this fear. There was this like, oh, I can't do that, trying to do it right and perfect. So I created this 30, I'm like, I am going to do this one thing for 30 days. And the one thing was to get on camera every day. I could talk for 5 minutes. I could talk for 15 minutes. I could talk for 50 minutes. When I go back and look at those old videos, oh my God, some of them were so bad. But it wasn't about putting out quality. It was about putting out quantity in terms of staying committed to myself each and every day and making better use of my time. And once I did that and I did it again, then maybe I switched and I did something else. I was like, well, there's something else I really want to focus on in my business, and what I'm doing for myself. So let me engage in that. And then it just grew so that I created it for networking, because people are always like, oh, I don't have time for networking. I'm like, yeah, you do. Let me show you how. And by creating that 30-day networking program that I have now, it's not, challenge is really what it is. It's not a full program. It is so powerful because what you can gain in such a short period of time can help you grow for months to come. So here's the thing. Do the one thing. Really, value yourself, value your time. Don't waste it. Don't make excuses because of the season of the year. Because guess what? September 1st is going to come. September 15th is going to come. Whenever summer ends for you, that day is going to come. And the question is going to be, what did you do to advance yourself during the downtime of summer? Because you're still going to need to have gotten yourself to a certain point. You still have goals and dreams and things you want to do. So what one or two things could you have done during this time period to move yourself forward so that in a couple of months, you're not looking back with regret. You're looking back saying, yes, I did a couple of things. I'm super excited about it and I'm raring to go. Okay. Plant those seeds for yourself now. That's really what I'm talking about. Plant the seeds now so that it can grow over time and support you in even greater ways later. Make the investment in yourself. Do whatever it takes. Focus on one thing. Reach out to someone. Get an accountability partner. Those are great. Join a mastermind. Fantastic, right? Do a consistency challenge. I've got a couple. Reach out, right? Or get the support you need, whatever that might be. If you need a coach, if you need, a mentor, whatever, reach out, because that counts. That is never going to be a waste of your time. There's always something to learn from the experience. Figure out what it is, and then move ahead and move forward. This is a fantastic time of the year to do that internal reflection, to figure out where you want to go next, and then start laying out the plan to make it happen. And for anyone who says, oh, that's too much, it's not too much. Not if it gets you in a place so that months from now and the beginning of next year, you're like, that was worth every bit of time that I took to lay the foundation that I need for the next level of who it is I want to be and want to do. Okay. So that's it. Happy to have a chat. Let me know, hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear from you on what you think about that. What are those things that you feel like you have wasted time doing or not doing, right? Or what are some of the things you would love to be able to do that you're just kind of feeling stuck on trying to figure out how to make it happen? Happy to schedule a time to chit chat about that and figure out what's the right path for you to take in moving forward and growing in who you are right now in the summertime season, planting the seeds in the sun so they can grow later on. Okay? Take care, and I will talk with you again soon. Bye-bye.